This is kind of a new mindset evolving, which has a lot to do with self-empowerment and the really will to live a meaningful and sensible life. And it's important to understand in this case that it's not the point that one sector is better than the other, but we can observe that everything is going into this fourth sector, and that the fourth sector interacts with the existing sectors, and this in general can strengthen and can make a society more resilient. Because the principle of a network is flexicurity. It's flexible and robust at the same time because it can adapt very much in a world that is getting more and more complex.
Money should follow you, because at the end of the day, the state is something we collectively agree on to make our lives better, and we should not adjust to some regulatory regimes we have set up, so they have to change to fit to our lifestyles.
We've been trying to do, partially my party and especially my boss, Minister of Justice Henriksson, has been speaking of a Nordic electronic ID system, which would mean that everyone working within a Nordic country would have access to the same system, and that sort of Nordic ID system could be something we should look into also on the EU level. But having said that, I have to go back to the fact that there is a strong political will, I think, in most countries, like I think you already mentioned, to keep the social security and the pensions within the country's system, mainly because of the money, I suppose. The discussion was that if the other countries are not having these strict restrictions, then we shouldn't have them either. So I think that the framework and the benchmarking was one of the key issues that EU provided.
Planning the future or rethinking the future never means to make everything totally different. No, it's more about a recombination of different things. So what do we have and how can we combine it that it makes more sense for our future? So this can be a starting point.
UBI discussion here in Europe is a discussion which is, in my point of view, anti-European. Because you see, okay, let's make a UBI in Germany or so. But then if you ask, okay, what happens if people from the Netherlands, for example, move to Germany? Do they get them? Yes or no? And this is the point where people say, well, this is for Germans only. And, see, so all the things and the discussions we had about connectivity, and we're all Europeans, then starts to get a connotation of, let's say, welfare chauvinism, where you really have to say, our money for our people. And this is not really a European idea.